Today we're going to look at a weapon that I bought as an afterthought to another weapon that I bought. I'm going to start it off with a story after I show you my Echo1 CSR. Okay, the only upgrades I've done on this are a sling, of course, bipod, the default, this newer style mount, and a newer 3-9 scope. No internal upgrades done on this, no flash hider change, anything. This is a stock gun. So the external things of the sling, the bipod, and the scope mount, that's it. That's all I've done. The reason that I bought this gun was because of a gun that I originally purchased, which was an Ares S&T SVD. I'm going to show a picture of that right now. The Ares S&T SVD was a gun that I did the same thing to. I got a sling mount. I've got a PSOP scope on it with a regular mount, vintage mount, and I put a metal flash hider on it. Now I was just going to leave that one stock as well because that was shooting about 450 with 2.5s. Well, no, I'm sorry, 450 with 2.0s, so it was shooting about maybe 420 with 2.5s. And it shot very well. But then all of a sudden, after one game that I went to, the next game I went to, I thought I stripped the piston on it because I was using 11.1s with it. And here comes to find out two of the gears, because it had 4 gears in it. The SVD gearbox has 4 gears in it. 2 of the gears just shredded themselves. And it also messed up the piston. So I was trying to find a replacement gearbox or a gear set, and I couldn't find it. Contacted Ares, S&T, got all run around. I got so upset, I said to hell with it. I had bought all kind of mags for it, and as you can see, I bought the 60 round mid caps, denoted by yellow, for it, and I had bought actual real steel SVD vest, which I guess I'll show a picture of that too. I'll put a link for that from Beez Combat Systems. I'll put a link for that in the description in case anybody's interested. So when I saw the Echo1 came out with the CSR, I went out and snagged one, and I was going to transfer all my stuff over to it. In the interim, though, one of the people on Facebook pointed me to Echo1's parts shop, and they had gear sets for the Echo1 CSR. And I asked, did they think it would fit in the S&T gearbox, and say the response was, it might. You should give it a shot, see if it does, and it should work out. And this is the phenomenal part. I actually did put the gears in there, put a bigger spring, shimmed and lubed it up because it was horrible, the big pile of grease that was in there, and the gears were moving all around when I first took it apart. So I shimmed and lubed it, put a bigger spring in there, and I went with a tighter bore barrel, longer barrel. The barrel originally in there was a 680, if I'm not mistaken, and I, at the time, went to a place called Nepa-Airsoft, which is out of business now, and I bought a 715 millimeter tight bore barrel. Now they do sell them at other places right now, but I was doing a lot of business with them at the time. So I bought that 715 millimeter tight bore barrel, and I think it was a 603. I'm not quite sure. Maybe it's a 602. I'd have to look it up. But I put that in the gun, and the bigger spring, and I was getting 470, 475 with 2.5s. It was phenomenal. Right after that, I actually tore my rotator cuff in my left arm, so I stopped using the guns. Now I had bought a Russian drop case for it. I had gone and bought Russian stuff for the gun, and I had a Russian rig. I made that Beez Combat Systems woodland rig into a Russian woodland rig, and it actually worked out real nice, and I used it at quite a few games after I had fixed it before I hurt my shoulder. This one, I decided to go with the newer look, still with the sling, but the newer style scope and the newer style mount on it, because I thought it was a newer version of it. And this shoots, it listed as 450, no, I think it said 475, 460 to 475 with 2 O's, which I just tested it on my chrono, and it shoots 446 average. 444 to 448, so it's a 446 average with .25s. Now I used .30s in this, and I just shot a couple of shots out to 220 feet and was hitting it without a problem. Just, there was a slight little curve to the BB, so that might be the hop up needs to be, the bucking needs to be changed. It's the original bucking that's in there. And I'm not quite sure what size barrel this is in, probably 680 or 650. That was a nice thing too about the S&T, and I'm not quite sure on the CSR, but it was a standard AEG barrel, and I think that's what this is too. So you can put a standard length AEG barrel in this, which was nice. And they do sell replacement hop-ups units for this that fit in this or the S&T. But I digress. This gun here has a really nice textured butt pad for against the shoulder. Okay, this is an add-on though. For me, I forgot, this was another add-on. Now this is supposed to have screws that go into it, and I never did that because I didn't want to really screw this up. So what I did is I put this pad on here, and it stays on there pretty good, and it grips the shoulder, plus it gives you about another ½ an inch on here, so this shoulder's a lot better. The gun shoots very well, semi-only, and the big thing with this, which I still don't use it even though my shoulder's better now, most of the fields I'm going to have a sniper rule of 500, under 500 with 2.5s for a bolt action rifle. Now that's fine. This is semi-only, but it's in their DMR rule, which has to shoot under 450. Some fields have a DMR rule, some don't. Now this shoots 446 with 2.5, so this is in that, it could be used in that DMR role. Because it's a semi-only gun, you can really follow up the shots with it. The problem is, my other SVD, which is really tweaked out and really nice, is shooting, like I said, 470 with 2.5, so I could never use that. Now some fields will allow you to use a semi-only sniper rifle like this. I have the CSR, I have the other SVD, the Aries S&T SVD, and I also have my KCO2, which is a semi-only sniper rifle, and I have my EBR, which is mechanically set to be semi-only. But both of the EBR is, again, I got it upgraded, is shooting 470 with 2.5s. Now the KCO2 is HBA tap, so that can shoot under the 450 limit, or even as down low as 400 if that needs to be done. Now HBA guns at 2 fields I go at have a certain limit. They have to read 350 with 3 O's, which is 1.71 joules, so that's roughly around 380 with 2.5s. They make it the HBA user's chrono with 3 O's, and it has to be at that 171 joule limit. But back to this gun. This is a very nice weapon. I just shot it outside. I'm not going to show a shooting video on this. The scope is really nice on this. It has a nice look to it when you're looking through it. I still have the orange tip on the front. I've never changed that out, even though that is a metal flash hider. I could just basically strip the orange tip off it and it would look okay. As a newer style looking SVD, this is awesome. Personally, if I was using this on the field now, I have a single post gun stick that I've used with like other weapons that I have, that I could post, put the SVD on it and have it, and lose the bipod from the front, which is pretty heavy. The gun is not exactly light, but it's not exactly heavy either. It's got some weight to it when it's out there, but without the bipod on there, you'd lose a little bit of weight, and I think that would make the difference. And if you had like a shooting stick that you could use, I think it'd be great. Now, I originally was selling this to try to get rid of it because I have 2 of them, and I was also thinking about selling my Aries S&T SVD. I don't seem to have any buyers on them. You know, maybe I want too much money for them, but this is basically brand new with the scope, and I'm still doing my normal whatever it costs, whatever I put into it, half the price, that's what you pay. I digress again. This is just a look at my CSR, Echo1 CSR. It's an excellent rifle if you're looking to get into a platform. Default, it's shooting 450 with 2.5, so you should be able to get in on most fields. It's under 450, shoots pretty well. The only upgrade I would say this needs is maybe a different barrel if you want to go crazy on it, or I would definitely say a new bucking in this one. New bucking and barrel, and you're ready to rock and roll. You might get away with just the bucking because the barrel seems to be putting some nice groupings in there when I was shooting. So maybe a little bit lighter bucking, a little softer bucking than what's in there, or just a new bucking, same type, and it should work like a champ for you. Now, I did have this chronoed at one field. We did use it, and I do have a white tag, which is considered a sniper tag. So at the one field, I was able to use this as a sniper weapon, but most fields are classifying this as a DMR now. So unless you have a DMR rule set at your field, some places won't let you use a semi-only rifle like this unless it's a bolt action over 450. So it's just something to consider if you're looking at this particular platform. Very nice weapon. I like it. Echo1 did an excellent job. Battery goes in the stock here, and you have to have sort of a stick type battery for it. Nice square 11.1 LiPo, really does good. It really gives it some snap. Other than that, the weapon is like out of the box shooting like a champ. So this would be a great snag for anybody trying to get one. It does not come with any kind of scope mount, but it does have the rail for the side. So you pick up a good mount for like 20 bucks and a scope. My opinion, you pick up a side mount, a little bit more minimalistic side mount than I did. I got one with all kind of rails all over the place. But if you get a minimalistic side mount and a fixed 4X scope or a 3.5 or a 4X scope for, they sell about like $30, $40. Whole package you could get for 60 bucks, put it on this gun, and that would be perfect because a 3 to 9 scope is a little overkill for this. I have it set at 4, and that's what I was using on both my guns. And the PSOP scope, I think, is a 4 power or a 2.5. I'm not quite sure. But you don't really need a lot for a sniper rifle. Zooming in and all that other stuff, we're not shooting real steel. So 4X, even a 3.5 or even a 3, which I have on one gun, is phenomenal for airsoft. So that's my little bit of a wandering talk about this gun and my S&T. So I hope you enjoyed the video, and as always, you guys try and have a good day, okay?